Hello, everybody. Oh, hello. Listen up, listen up. Listen, I want to thank all you viewers and subscribers that I have. Please, your new viewers, if you want to, please subscribe to my channel. We're going to get into some new stuff, and it's going to be unbelievable. Let me tell you. So please, subscribe to Undercover with Jay. Definitely going to get into this one. This is a beauty. So, I don't know if you heard about China has found dragon bones. Yeah, dragons, that's right. And this isn't the first, okay? There was 3 that were discovered throughout overseas and that. I believe one was dismissed in America, but I believe wholeheartedly it was real now. Because now a 4th dragon was found. A 4th, and not any other dragon, just a sea dragon. Now China has described dragons. There you go, all the way back, way back, of showing dragons, and everything that they have is about dragons, really. And there's a couple other places that have dragons as well, and we're not just talking about what nowadays still people that are still alive. There is an ancient tribe that described dragons as well, a few of them, and this one just so happened to be a beauty. Now this is new. And I'm about to bring it up here and show you here what this is about. So, like I said, I do not have the setup yet to show you other different way. But it's a colossal sea monster discovery. Definitely a beauty. Look at that. That is definitely dragon. Definitely matches up. I mean, look at this thing. That is definitely a dragon. Look at the horns. You've seen the horns. And dragon's been mentioned throughout history. And it's just a beauty. And I'm gonna tell you, it is beautiful to see some stuff that is coming out. But like I said, throughout history, and we're talking way back, oh my gosh, it's always been talked about with dragons and that. And they're trying to say, oh, they misconstrued it with dinosaurs. Well, you saying that dinosaurs weren't around even then. But now you're saying it was construed. Like, you make no sense. Okay. Dinosaurs were described even back then, yes. I believe there was dinosaurs back then, even in the Middle East. There's still dinosaurs out there to this day. Proven fact. Sorry, excuse me. It's proven fact. Dinosaurs are still around to this day. I've seen actual photos, videos of a pterodactyl in the 1980s. I've seen photos in the 1970s. Old photos. They were really hard, but you could tell. You could tell. Okay, it wasn't fake. Wasn't a kite or something back then. They didn't have really. There's the stuff back then. And this was a very small dinosaur. Pretty much like those little pips in Jurassic Park. I don't know if you remember them. But yeah. Now, we're going to get into this because this isn't the only thing that keeps popping up, okay? Like, they're trying to say mythology a myth, you know, a fantasy and that. But listen, everything that we do, there's Dungeons and Dragons. There's a movie, you know, Thrones, Game of Thrones. There's so much more that talk about dragons, and really, if that's just all it is a fig, why do you keep producing such things to encourage it? Because it was real. And it's like I said, everything that we've seen in writings in China, their drawings, their statues, and that all of dragons. Like these dragons are just popping up, and it's not just China. So that's what I'm trying to get at, everybody. Like it is real. It has to be because it wouldn't be going throughout history. Now they'll try to say, "Oh, well, they were probably trying to tell a story or something." You always have an excuse, and that's the problem. Okay, what about reality? Well, if there was dinosaurs, then why not dragons? Okay, it's very, very well possible. And here's the problem: you just keep on trying to cover up everything. Just to try to be where you're right and we're wrong. Well, archaeologists prove you wrong every day. Especially with Nephilim, the giants, and that. Come on, you can't hide history and back in ancestry lineage of things being described. And it goes way back. Way back. So that's the problem. So you try to control your storyline and that, but then you're gonna have to come out and say, "Oh, yeah, we were wrong again." You know, you were wrong about UFOs and UAPs and extraterrestrials, and now you're gonna have to say you're wrong again about dragons and dinosaurs. To this day, there was that on the news. If you remember way back then, I think it was in 2022, or back even a little bit further, can't exactly remember, that Japan found an island with dinosaurs on it. Wholeheartedly believe. Now, do I believe the possibility of dinosaurs also being in the rainforest and that? Yes. The rainforest is deep and vast, and you still have the monster snake. I forget the actual term for it, but it's a giant beast of a snake. And I'm seeing tons of videos of this that are real, and they're not AI. So if a snake that's from the dinosaur period is still alive to this day, yes. Now, you're trying to say a giant asteroid came, struck Earth, and destroyed everything. Well, that would be impossible because then life wouldn't exist on planet Earth. Nothing. Okay, nothing. So, and then it's proven fact that humans were evolved even more farther. So, if humans were alive even millions of years ago with dinosaurs, because there's footprints next to dinosaur prints that are stone now and proven fact. Well, you can't do a new, that was before something, that footprint. No, it don't work that way. It happened in the time of the dinosaurs, and that's how it was. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're full of it. You can't keep lying with what's being found, and it's getting out there. China don't really hide. Okay, their government doesn't hide stuff from their people, and they're willing to share it with the rest of us. And God willing, I'm glad, because we're hidden from everything else about China and Japan and everything else now. You know. And told that they don't like us. Oh, that's bull. That's bull. I'm gonna tell you something. There's some areas of Chinese that don't like, and that's because they have bad experience with Americans. I'm gonna tell you that. Or they heard things about America. But there's a lot that a lot of Chinese people and Asia, well, let's say Asians, period, in general, that like Americans. I mean, look how many are married or dating Americans. A lot. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's nothing. That's what the government, these governments are trying to pin. Our government's trying to pin us against everybody. And it's sad. It's sad. But listen, we're all put on this earth by one man, God, and He created us all. If you can't see that, then there's a problem. But yeah, and now I don't have a video of it, and I'm gonna have to dig for it. I mean, really dig, because I'm pretty sure they took it off the internet. Because it was funny how it popped up, and now I can't find it nowhere. It was about unicorns, fairies. Now there's someone here about gnomes, and some other things. I don't know about the gnomes. I mean, possibility, yes. There's a possibility. I don't know what we would call gnomes. I believe they'd be called something else. But do I believe the possibility that we're being lied to and saying that these are just fairy tales? Yes. Yes, because anything is possible. Ladies and gentlemen, anything is possible. If you believe that God only stopped with us, you're so wrong. So wrong. Okay, because everything is created by God. So dinosaurs, dragons, cavemen, humans, so on. Every single animal, everything is created by God. So if you think our planet has living people on it, then you're wrong. I mean, obviously, because there's how many planets out there that we're only being told of how many that they want to give us, but there's more. There is a vast space is vast and far, it's the whole universe, and it's actually called the Ultra Universe, because Ultra Universe is so vast in that there's lots out there. So yeah, dinosaurs, dragons, and anything else that they told you is a fairy tale or mythology is bull crap. It is, because it did exist. I'm not gonna say 100% everything, but I would say a good 95%. So I'm 9 out of 10 sure that most things that we're told is a fantasy or myth was real. So that's where you guys, if you want to look into it, go ahead, dig deep. Now there is declassified files for China. There's declassified files in Japan. There's declassified files even in Russia. Now you got to go back. Every country and that has a declassified files. Now their declassified files is just like it's classified for, I would say, a month or two, and depending on it, sometimes it could go up to a year before they declassify it, but they release it right away. The United States holds it. So that's the problem with the United States. You really have to fight for them to release in the United States, to release information. And that's the problem with the United States. But yes, dragons were alive. Now, is there dragons to this day? I am not going to say yes. But I'm also not going to say no. Because there's a possibility for anything to be hidden. So much goes on that we don't know about and aren't told about. So is it likely? Is it likely? Then, yeah, no. And it is very, very likely, because it's everything's coming out. You understand me? So things keep on coming. Things keep on showing up. that are proving a point in to get us into a reality. And in this reality, so much stuff that we're being told is a lie. Like hobbits, there's proof that hobbits existed back then. Is there a possibility that hobbits still exist to this day? Yes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because our world is so vast. It's huge. It's huge. And imagine the rainforest. They can't get very far into the rainforest because, one, it's very huge. Two, tribes that would stop them. And they can't, push forward. Because either they're keeping their secrets, like they should, or they're protecting their people. Because they've learned of how, people just come and take over and say, oh, this is our land now, get the heck out. So word travels fast by mouth. I'm pretty sure they're not. I've never seen them with any kind of technology or heard of them with any kind of technology that we have today, like TVs and radios and stuff like that, or phones. These people actually live still as back in the day, as the tribes did and should. And it just blows my mind that we sit and just don't think the possibilities. We just say, oh, that's just conspiracy. Oh, that's just bull, made up, No, not everything is made up. Not everything is bull. I would wish to sometimes say, some of these things were bull, but in reality, face reality. Okay, so we got to stop living in a fantasy world to be safe and extend our minds and extend things that could possibly be. Remember, God created everything. So that's not just mankind, dinosaurs, and everything else. Now, here's a weird thing that I also thought. I heard about centaurs. Now, centaurs go way back in Greece. And God, I seen a video that was so disturbing. So disturbing. It shows a bunch of horses that are galloping away, that don't have saddles or nothing. And then you see like what looks like horses with men on top, but then when you really look close, there's no horse's head. It's the torso of a man or woman. And it's attached to the horses. So it's like, and you can't see nothing. Like it was an old video. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that it wasn't AI. And it was disturbing because now that I would have pushed on and said, oh yeah, centaurs are, that's at least mythology and that made up. But now I'm really thinking of the possibilities. Okay, because I'm like, dang, dinosaurs, dragons, unicorns, centaurs. What else? What else? So now I have to dig deeper. So, I really dug deep. Now there is some islands that are being hidden from Google Maps out in the Atlantic and that. So I always thought it was weird that there was no islands really in the Atlantic, and then I was like, well, let me dig here. Let me check on Google Maps. Maybe something is undiscovered, maybe because they only have shipping lanes that they go on, and Atlantic's pretty deep. So I looked. There is 8 islands, and they're pretty big. There's some small. There's like two of them that are small. The rest are pretty decently big. Okay, and the reason I found out was because if you really look on Google Maps, it looks like water, but it's weirdly shaded in that. It's distorted. It's distorted. So then I really zoomed in, and I'm like, oh, this don't look right. It's like, this don't look right. Like, why does it look like this? Like, I've looked at so much on Google Maps, ocean-wise, And there's only a few I seen, and that's when I pieced together. Well, there's few, and I really dug into it. They were islands. So then I really started like mapping it out, okay, and going by the size of the distortion, and they were pretty big. Now, like I said, there was only two that weren't. So if you go on Google Maps and look at all of the Atlantic Ocean, you're gonna find that distortion if you really pay attention. Like, you really have to zoom in and really focus. And this isn't the first time, as we know, that they've done that. Now, the reason I wholeheartedly believe this is because, like I said, woolly mammoths have been found that still had their skin, still had their fur, still had tusks and everything. Like, and it was full fig, and there was nothing, wrong with it. It didn't look mummified or nothing. It just like frozen in time. Okay, and when the scientists did that, they looked into those. They found food in its mouth that it just took and was in the process of eating. So then I'm like, damn. Okay. So the only parts that are really frozen are up. So Siberia and that would be Antarctica. We got Alaska. And, some more. So now I'm like, oh man. I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm really digging into it, and I'm gonna dig more. I got to, because now I'm starting to see bits and pieces that I can't piece yet together, but I wanted to bring on to a notion about dragons, because a fourth one has been found, a sea dragon with official, bone proof and that, like the other three, and the one that was discovered in America that's been covered up and disappeared. So then I got to start looking in about the unicorns that I seen on here. Disappeared, scrubbed. Griffin, there was some griffin videos that were old, disappeared, wiped. We're talking about extremely wiped. If it was not real, it would still be on here, I'm telling you. You would still be able to find all that stuff wiped. It wouldn't be wiped. It would let it go. So the only way that something's 100% is if it's wiped. If it's extremely wiped with nothing, you can't search it up on the internet. You can't search it up on the reels. You can't search it up on social media. You can't look up news stuff about it anymore. That means it's been wiped. So therefore, it was truth, but being buried. So think about that. If you remember seeing stuff and then you went to look for it, like say the day before you seen it, and then you're like, oh, you see a friend, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna show you this, and you had forgotten to share it, or if you did share it to yourself, and you go in there and it's been deleted, because that's the thing nice about Facebook, it says that it's no longer on there. Don't really give a whole explanation in that, but yeah. Then deep wipe. So the government does that constantly with things that come out without them knowing. So right away, once they find out about it, they do a deep wipe, and they scrub it off the internet, scrub it everything that you can think of. It's boom, taken down. So remember that. If you see anything about dragons or anything else, be prepared for it to be wiped. Because it will. And I truthfully believe that with, things that are from back in ancient times, talking about dragons, and we're talking about all the way to medieval times and farther, and then all of a sudden they're finding dragon bones, I believe it. I believe it. It's up to you to decide whether you believe it or not. If you want to stay asleep, or if you want to get waken up. Thank you for joining Undercover with Jay. I appreciate you all. Please subscribe and share. Have a great and beautiful day.